topic or today's what's it called? Today's agenda. Now we talked about variables, arguments. Okay, I'm not sharing my screen yet. About variables and arguments. Can you see my screen? Or can anyone see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, I can see your
Variables and
screen.
arguments. Yes. Okay, so yes, we already know
No,
how
I
this is going
can't.
to go.
Can see.
You all know how this is going to go. Going to be asking questions. Raise your hands up if you think you can answer the question. So, I mean, we talked about variables and arguments. So, who can differentiate between a variable and an argument in context of UiPath Academy or UiPath Studio? George.
No, we can't, sir.
George. We can't. Let's say who can. You can raise up your hand. And hello, George. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good evening, everybody. So variable is a defined container that holds a data that works in activity. Can you hear me?
George, you're not loud enough.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I said a variable is a defined container that holds a data that you can use within different activities within the same workflow. While an argument, holds data that you can use within different workflow. Used to define it as in passive data that you can use within the different
workflows. Yes, so
within
I did not hear you clearly, George, but I think you were saying something like a variable is a container that holds data for activities within the same workflow. Wow,
yeah, within the same workflow. While arguments holds data that you can use within different workflows.
Someone should mute themselves. Okay, so thank you, George. You are correct. Arguments transfer data between two different workflows, while a variable transfers between different activities in the same workflow. And they are both containers to hold data. Now, we also said we talked about the types of variables and types of arguments. George, can you put your hand down? Robert, now, what types of variables did you talk about yesterday? What types can you think of?
Good evening, Mr. Miller. Good evening, everybody. So for the types of variables, we talked about string, which relates to text data. We have Boolean. Boolean refers to data that are by optional, that's true or false data. We have numbers, we have date and time, we have data table for data that are presented in a tabular form, e.g. Excel format. So we have queue items, we have array. Array is like a collection of data. Array is like a collection of data.
Collection of data of similar data types. Remember,
data types,
they have to be the same. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you very much, Robert. And then we talked about, you said variables have some properties that are defined when you create them, or create a new variable now. Kalumi, just give me two of those properties and explain the properties. Kalumi.
You said?
So we talked about variables having some properties, right?
Okay.
And we said those properties have different, let's say, functions or uses, or different ways of affecting a variable. Now, just give us two properties.
Okay, sir. Concerning that, we talk about properties of variables, and they have to do with what a developer, as in, you have to configure your variable to its properties. So,
okay, so
should be
name.
Said,
give us two of the, okay, name.
Let me say type.
Type. So what is that name? Explain the name. What does the name signify to a variable rather?
That variable serve as a container. I think in my own word, I think the name has to do with the title or the unique title you give to that information you are storing.
Unique, yes. Thank you for that word. That special word, unique. We learned that variable names have to be unique within the workflow to avoid. Yes, for type. Continue.
Okay. For type has to do with giving direction for the variable to know maybe the kind of data it's going to store, be intended to store.
So can you rephrase that?
Okay. The type, should I say, it has to do with the kind of data the variable intend to store.
Okay, yes, that's true. That's correct. Also, the variable type is telling us what kind of data the variable is going to hold. And we talked about the types earlier: Z, string, numbers, boolean, etc. Now there are two more. I guess there are two more that I know of. There are two more properties of variables, and I would like Toby to now help us with those last two properties. Toby Oyela. Toby.
Yes, sir. I can't hear the question, sir.
We're talking about properties of variables now, and Pelumi told us that you said they have some properties that need to be configured, or that might need to be configured when we are creating a variable. Pelumi told us to said name and type, and then he told us that the name is basically the unique ID given to a variable, while the type is the kind of data that's going to be stored in that variable. So now I think there are some other properties that didn't say. So I want you to enlighten us on what they may be.
Yeah, the next one we have, according to what you told us yesterday, sir, we have the defaults, and then we have this. We have scope. We have. So I say we have defaults and we have scope.
So that scope sounds interesting. What is scope, and how does it affect a variable? Like what is the point of that scope property now?
I think the scope is relevant when, number one, when a variable is visible. The user will specify the which is going to be used. And then when the user define any variable, it is bound to be in the container.
I did not hear that very well, Toby. Can you repeat yourself?
The scope, sir. It is when the user specify the region in which a variable is being visible. Can you hear me, sir?
So I think you said the region where the variable is being used. Okay.
It's being visible.
Yes, visible. Yeah, it's able to be accessed, where you can access the variable. And then the last one you mentioned was what again? Defaults.
Yes, sir.
What's default?
Default talks about, for example, when we have int 32, the default value will be 0. That is, it will always specify the initial value of the variable in the container in the default field, sir.
Default, okay. Default is the initial. I'm not sure the default is 0 in UiPath now, because you have to set our default by ourselves. But then I get your point. It's the initial data that is stored when you first create a value. Yeah, let's create a variable. Now, arguments also, we define arguments as containers that allow us to transfer data between. So thank you, Toby. You can put your hands down. It allows us to transfer data between different workflows, rather. So arguments also have their own properties. I think they have name, direction, type, and default, just like variables. So I think the different thing between each of them are the direction. So Ebenezer. So according from what you've learned in the last class, what can you tell us about the argument direction? Ebenezer. Okay, Esther. What can you tell us about argument directions? What can you
Sorry,
say?
sir, I was trying to turn on my mic. Hello,
Okay,
sir.
then.
Can you hear me?
So I can hear you.
Okay. From what we learned yesterday, an argument is like a container that carries a type of information, and the attributes and the information we have to be the same, and that they are stored in a particular or in an increasing manner of storage.
Also, that is not correct, Ebenezer. I think what you're defining for us is an array.
Okay.
And
Sorry, sir.
Increasing.
Yeah. I was talking
Do you
about.
want to try again now? Actually, I said just explain what the direction property means to you. Like, what do you know about the direction property of an argument? We've talked about name, type, and default earlier. So they mean the same thing for both variables and arguments. But that one thing that is different, can you explain it in your own words?
So if I get you said I should explain what
how that property called direction of an argument. What is the purpose and what do you know about it basically from what you've learned in the class yesterday?
Okay. From what I can remember of what happened yesterday, direction of of an argument. So I'm trying to correct something here. The direction of an argument shows whether the argument is coming in or out. And you describe the arguments to be in three forms. You said in, out, and then the other one is like an in out.
Okay, so okay. That is acceptable.
So in is the form whereby maybe kind of
Thank you,
in,
Ebenezer. Thank you. In, out, in, out. And we said in is used to send or used to take data in from a different workflow. Out sends data to a different workflow, and in out can do both. Can do both. Can do both. Okay, so I think that is everything we talked about in the last class. And we looked at the argument and argument panel, variables panel. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Whose hand is up now? Bobby. Esther. So we talked about the ways of creating variables. 3 ways of creating variables. Esther, are you here?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, so we talked about the ways of creating variables yesterday. And I think we have 3 ways of doing that. So can you tell us those 3 ways?
Okay, sir. The first way is through the variable panel. And
Okay.
Then on the properties part, the property part of the screen. I don't know if I'm very correct with that too. And then on the other side of the screen, the property part of the screen.
What do you mean by other side of the screen?
Okay, I'm sorry. I know that there's the variable part, the variable panel at the bottom part.
Okay.
Yes, and then on the right side of the screen, that's the property part at the
property
top.
Panel. Not property
panel,
part.
yeah. Panel, all right, sir. Property panel. And then you can do it from the message box itself.
I'm looking for one term, not message box itself. So we call that whole part of the screen something. I want you to use the exact word, because I mean it is in the note you used 2 days ago. So the name of the part. Who knows the name of the part that she's talking about? Does Daniel know?
Sir, please come again.
So Esther said there are 3 ways of creating variables. She said in the variables panel, in the properties panel, but then she could not quite explain the last part to us. So who wants to help out? Your hand is not up, so you can't help out.
Let me help out, sir.
Hand is not up.
Daniel should help out.
Sir, are you calling me?
Yes, I'm calling you.
Okay.
Sir, I can remember now.
Thank you, Esther. Don't worry,
Sorry, please give me.
we'll manage the 2 you gave us. Let Daniel give us the last one.
Okay.
Thank you, Esther.
Thank you.
Okay, Daniel.
Yes. Okay, we right click on the variable itself.
The variable itself.
Correct. Itself to create it.
On what?
On the sequence itself.
That's not,
You mean?
that's not. I'm looking for a particular.
Sir, let me just answer my question. Sir, let me just answer my question.
Okay, let's answer your question.
Is the design part, the panel, design panel.
Okay, the designer panel. Good. That is the part where we put all our activities and our sequences as we saw in the last class. Okay, so thank you everyone who has answered questions. So we've covered everything for yesterday. We've done a recap. Mute yourself.
The Bluetooth device is
Okay. So let's go on to today's topic. Today's topic will be control flow. Okay. So I want you guys to open your UiPath Studios down in case you want to, or not in case, but for when we want to demonstrate. So we won't have to wait for anyone. So our next topic for today would be control flow. Control flow. Control flow. Okay, so we talked about the process of creating the process of making RPA processes, RPA business processes. That these processes have to follow a logical flow, logical sequence. And so in the course of creating your processes, you would need to know the specific methods of, let's say, of controlling the flow of your activities. Okay, so there are various methods of control flows, or there are various types of control flows. We have the decision control, we have loop, and then we have decision loops. And when we get there, talk about it. Now, what is control flow? Sorry. Okay, so the basis of any program is, or not the basis, but the simplest form of any UiPath process is a sequence. I think we saw in our last demonstration what a sequence looks like. It's a series of activities that are connected to each other. And they follow a linear process. That is, they go in a single line. They go from one point to the other. They don't branch into different directions. So yeah, as I said, the sequence is a basic, or is the simplest form of a process. simplest form of a workflow. Okay, and a sequence can be something as simple as displaying a message box, something as complex as opening your browser, then navigating to a website and doing a specific task. Now, in a sequence, the activities are followed. The activities follow each other in a linear fashion, and no activities can be skipped during the execution. So, an example of sequencing, we said that before. I said that before. Something as simple as creating a message box, or something as complicated as opening a message box and performing other actions. Excuse me. I'll do something. Yes. So if you can see my screen now, you can see that we have multiple activities. We have message box 1, message box 2, and we will see that when I run this program, okay, we cannot run this program and run message box 2 without running message box 1. Message box 1. So that is a key feature of sequences, that they cannot skip activities. Okay. Now, on the sequences now, in order to accommodate you creating more complex automations or more complex, achieving more complex tasks, you would need to employ the various control flow types to perform whatever thing you need to do. And as I think I said before, that we have some types of controls, which is that whoever can precious mute himself. We have two basic types of control flows. We have decision-based control flows. That is control flows that makes decisions that if you want to do something, or if something is true or false, or if something is that. So we have two types: control flow and control based. Sorry, decision based and iteration based. Now, when something is decision based, it means you want to perform an action when a specific condition is met. That is, like for example, when a number reaches 5, or if a number is 5, you want to do something. If a number is not 5, you do a different thing. And under this decision-based control flow, there are two activities. There are two activities in UiPath Studio which allow for decisions to be made. And the activities include our if and switch activity. Let me quickly practicalize it. So you can look for if. As you can see under control, there is an if activity. And if activity is in this format now, it has a condition and then it has a body. Okay, now this condition must always evaluate to a Boolean. Remember, Booleans are true or false values. So whatever is in this condition must always evaluate to either true or false. Like for example, if you have 5 greater than 6, you know this is false. So that means this whole condition, when you run the program, will evaluate to false. Now, the if statement can also be further, let's say, further modified or has further capabilities. That is to create an alternate outcome if our condition is not met, or if our condition is not true in this case, because true means we've met the condition, while false means, so if a condition evaluates to false, we can create an else activity that would run an alternate sequence if than the one that should have run normally. So like take for example now, we want to display our hello world. Hello world here. Hello world. And then on something else here that says not true actually. Should say true and not true. Not true and not true. Now, based on what I've been saying so far about if control flow activity, whenever this condition evaluates to true now, the then portion of the activity would run. Otherwise, if it evaluates to false, the else part to run. Now take this for example. We have 5 greater than 6. What do we think is going to run between these two now?
The else part, sir.
The else part. So when we run this, so when we run this automation, when we run it, we should see.
It's the reason why I want to leave Saudi. Religion, black and worship freely,
not true.
Christianity. So just being convincing.
Mute yourself, please. Yes, so as you can see now, it shows not true. That means that's because this evaluates to false. But if I see something like 5 greater than 4 now, this should evaluate to true, and then we'll see that.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll see that the then part is what on our screen we have true. So that means this is what's run because this condition is evaluated to true. Now, it's possible that we want to now make multiple decisions because, okay, for this switch now, you can see that it only makes 2 decisions, the true or false. If it's true, we run to then. If it's false, we go to else. Now, in the case of when we are programming and we want to make multiple decisions, we would have to use our switch activity. Now, the switch activity allows us to define specific conditions or specific answers that we want our programs to be checked against. Okay, so let's say now we want to check the value of a variable. If it's 5, perform one thing. If it's 6, do another thing. If it's 7, do something. Now we will notice that, or we will realize that this if now cannot we will not suffice to perform this operation, because if we say let's create a variable number and say we should check if number is equal to 5. Now this thing will not be able to check if the number is equal to 6, or rather if the number is equal to 6 now, the Yeah. So if number is anything apart from 5, I mean, obviously it's evaluate to false. But then, we want to create a sequence that responds only to specific inputs or specific values of number. When number is equal to 5, we want it to do something. If number is equal to 6, it should do something. And to solve that or to do that, we need to use our switch activity. So now we can add our switch activity. Switch, not slow switch. Switch also. Switch. Now this switch allows us to enter an expression. Notice that when it was time for the if, we had to enter a condition. For switch now, we enter an expression. So this expression can be variables or can be anything that evaluates to a defined value. Now, so let's use our variable number here in this case now. And now our options would be the cases. So in the case, let's say we want to make our activity do something. In the case of when number is equal to 5, we will state our case value of 5. We will state our case value of 5, okay, and create activity that we should run in this case. So let's say when our number is 5, we want to output number 5. Oh, and when the number is equal to 6, we want to output number 6. Then let's do another one. When the number is equal to 7, we should output number 7. Oh, sorry. Number 7. Okay, number 7. So now we can define our number here. So let me introduce a new activity to us. Let's introduce an input dialog box. Now, an input dialog basically allows us to take in input from users. Allows us to ask questions and get answers, or basically get data from the human user. So dialog title should be input number in this case. Then our label is the question we want to ask, or the information we want to display on the input dialog box. So I can say enter a number. That will be our prompt for the input dialog box. Then we have input type. We have text box and multiple choice, because we want to take in user specific data from the user. You want to take in custom data rather from the user. We use a text box, and then you store our value. In this value entered field, you have to, this is the default value for the input dialog box. Or in the case of, if you want to store the input from the dialog box into a variable, we would store, or we would put our variable in the result panel or the output part. So let me come again so everyone will understand. An input dialog box is used to take input from the human user. Okay, and it has 4 parts. The title, which is the name of the dialog box that will be displayed when the activity is being run. Our label is the prompt which we want to give to the user. So it can be a question, it can just be directions. Then input type tells us what kind of input we want to receive from the user. If you want custom inputs or predefined inputs. Then for custom inputs, you would use the text box. Then for predefined inputs, you would use a multiple choice. Then the value entered, this is basically default value. So in the case when we run our automation and the user doesn't put anything, this will be the value that is red. Or if we want to store you want to store our answer in a variable, we put the variable here, and then whatever is inputted in the dialog box will be stored in the variable that has been inputted. Did everyone get that?
So
Yes,
can
sir.
you please
Yes, sir.
provide?
I don't understand the part of the value.
The what?
The part of value entered. It's a bit confusing.
So the value entered now can do 2 things. If you want to have a default value, let's say when we run a input dialog and the user doesn't enter anything, doesn't put any inputs, but decides to continue like that. If you want to have a default value, we would put it there. Or if you want our input dialog box now, we want the input to be stored in a variable, we put the variable there. So whenever it's run, the data that has been inputted by the user will be stored into that variable that we have assigned to that spot. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I have,
Yes,
because we want to, yes, thank you.
Sir.
We want to store, yes, who is that?
So the value that we entered will be whatever. Let's say we enter like 10 after the the dialog box pops up.
It will be stored
so the
in
10 that we
this
enter will be
number.
stored there. Okay.
Yeah, in number. Okay, and then we can now use that number in our switch expression or our switch statement. Okay, so now you've seen that if our number is equal to 5, you would run number 5, or to print out number 5. If it's equal to 6, to print out number 6. Equal to 7, to print out number 7. Okay, and there's one last part of this switch activity that I did not mention. So that is the default part. Now this default works in a way that works when our user enters a value that is not part of the predefined expression. So let's say our user enters something like 10 in this case now, because we only put cases for 5, 6, and 7. Because we only entered values for 5, 6, and 7, a value of 10 would not have any results here. So we would run the default activity. Let's put something there to see it in action. Let's see, not one of our wanted inputs. Okay, so let's run this. So when we run it now, we have, this is the input dialog box. This is the name. We assigned it a name. So the name should be input number. So this is the name. Yeah, input number. You put the label, and that is the enter number that you can see here. Then because we said we wanted a text box, give us a blank field to enter or response, and then the number. So let's say I type in 10. Okay. You can see that because 10 is not one of our cases, it's the default that runs. And the default is going to say not one of our wanted inputs. Okay, so let's run it again. This time, let's enter something we want. So let's enter 5. When we enter 5, you see that because the 5 corresponds to one of our cases in the switch statements, we execute the activities that are inside case 5. I hope that's clear to everyone. Does anyone still have any issue understanding this switch statement or this switch activity?
I'm fine with it, sir.
Yes, everyone is fine with it, I would hope.
I'm not fine with it.
So the switch and if statements or switch and if activity are decision
decision-based control workflows.
Okay.
Or control flows rather. Decision-based control flows. Remember, I said there are 2 types of control flows: decision-based and iteration-based. So we have 2 types of decision-based control flows. That is the if and the switch. If someone said they didn't quite understand the what's it called? The switch statement, the switch activity.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me go over it again. We said the if activity allows us to work with 2 predefined conditions, that is either true or false. Whenever a condition evaluates to true, we run something, and when it evaluates to false, we run the else statement, right? Now, in the case when we want to have more than 2 predefined outcomes, like now, in case you want to have 3, in this case, we want to have 3 predefined outcomes. We would have to use a switch statement to ensure that our outcomes or our decisions are made accordingly. Now, a switch statement has the following form. The following format has an expression. This expression is what we will be comparing to our cases. Now, in this situation, we set our expression to be the variable number. So when we run this activity, the variable number will be compared to each case, and whichever case is met, the activities in the case would be run. And also when after running the program, none of the cases are met, or if none of the cases are met, now the default activity is what to be run, and we practicalize it in the last workflow. We set our cases to be 5, 6, and 7, and our input to be 10. And we saw that when the input was 10 now, we had to run the default activity. When the input was 5, we ran the case 5 activity, case 5 activities. When the input was 6, we ran the case 6, and so on and so forth. Okay. Is that fine with that person? I didn't see the person's name. So does she understand now? And does everyone also understand now? Just gauging the whole class.
Not yet, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not yet.
I'm
So
still lost.
I think I would explain one more time.
Thank you.
Then we would continue. Okay. Now the switch activity.
Sorry. Hello. Please, I think it will help for some of us more if while you're explaining, you apply this to a real case study so that we'll get to see the real life
case
application.
study. So you mean
help us understand
I should give an example in a real life situation, basically.
Yes, that's what
That
I'm
is
saying.
okay. I'll try to do that. Now this switch activity allows us to make decisions based on more than one predefined outcome. Okay. Remember, the if allows us to only make based on two outcomes, that is true or false. Based on two conditions, true or false. Now this switch allows us to make decisions based on more than two. So if you want to make 3 decisions, 4, 5, you would know to use our switch activity. Now it has 3 parts. It has the expression. So the expression is the let's say variable or the number. Basically anything we want to compare our cases with. In this case, you might want to compare your case with a variable, but we want to compare with an operation. Now we can say number, if I say number squared, or number times 2 in this, if I say number times 2, we might want our cases to compare against this operation. So our expression is basically anything, is a comparator in this case. I think is that a comparator, what we are comparing against. So that's what's been our expression. Then there's the default case. Now, this default case is what is going to be run when none of the predefined cases are met. Let's say in this case now we have case 5, 6, 7. If our expression evaluates to number 8, because 8 is not part of our cases, our default will run. And then the last part is are the cases if you want. So these are our wanted, let's say wanted outcomes or wanted conditions. Yes, I think that's a better word. Our wanted conditions. So if for example we want to do something, if number is equal to 5, we will set a case for 5 and to compare and execute the activities. If you want to run something when the case is when a number is equal to 6, you would set a case 6 and then run the activities inside case 6 and so on and so forth. Now for a real life example, how would I do this? So you can think of an elevator, an elevator work. We can think of an elevator. Yes, so elevators when they have multiple predefined outcomes, you can go to floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, floor 4. Okay, and then our expression in this case now would be the human, where the human wants to go. So let's say as a human now we enter the elevator and we want to go to floor 1. We would input 1. So the elevator would have the case 1, and the activity there will be something like, okay, move to floor 1. To have case 2. So when someone wants to go to level 2 or floor 2, they would enter 2 in the elevator and then go to floor 2. Now it's possible that some people will just enter the elevator and not hit any button to hit any button, or want to go to any floor, or they won't have made up their mind. Now the elevator can have a default of going to the ground floor. So in this case now, our default would be ground floor. And I hope that is making sense. That's real life allusion, or that real life comparison of an elevator.
So I can't raise my hand. I wanted to ask a question.
You can't raise your hand. Why can't you raise your hand?
I'm clicking on raise my hand. It's telling me that you can't raise your hand.
Okay, what's your question?
My question is you talk about sequence flow. So and in this
I talked about a sequence.
Yeah, sequence. So in this switch, we have the expression. I'm thinking that after the expression, the case the case conditions supposed to come in, and then after the case condition, if any of the case is not met, that is when the default comes. But here now we are saying the default just immediately after the
So
expression.
yeah, it's still the same.
I thought under
it's still the same thing, even though it's arranged, but like the default is what's going to happen first. The default is actually what happens last. So that what happens is that the switch evaluates the expression, then checks against all the cases. Okay. Then if none is met, the default will run. So even though it's arranged this way, the default is what's actually running last. Okay.
I get that, but I was thinking it's supposed to be arranged the way at least everybody, the way it flows, it's supposed to be arranged that way too.
Well, that is the way they designed their platform. I mean,
okay.
I guess they had the reason in mind, so I don't know. But then the functioning is still the same as what you would know from your other programming languages, as checking the case conditions, then doing the default.
All right. Thank you for the answer, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so after this decision based, we also have iteration based control flow. Now, iteration based control flows are basically what you would call loops. That is running a set of activities over and over again based on some certain conditions. Okay, I'll say that again. The iteration-based control flow is basically allowing a set of activities to be run repeatedly while a specific condition is met, or until the condition is no longer met, as the case may be. And then we have 3 types in UiPath. We have the while loop, the do while loop, and then the for each loop. Now, each of these loops has their advantages over each other. I mean, they can do the same thing. These 2 loops can do the same. They can serve the same purpose. But then each has advantages over each other, and you dive into that when we practicalize it. But for now, let's continue looking at this PDF. Now, decision-based control activities help us decide whether the execution flow should flow. Helps us decide whether the execution should flow based on certain conditions. These conditions are specified by a set of conditional statements having a Boolean value of true or false. As I think we saw that earlier in the condition part of the if statement. And then when the conditions are met, the flow will be transferred to a specific part. That is the then and then the else. And we saw that the then part of the if activity runs when the condition is true, and the else when the condition is false. Okay, I have an example here, but we've already done our example. So I think as an activity, let's. So how should we do this now? Do you all want to do it one by one, or should I just do it and then we'll watch me do it?
We want to do it. We want to do it.
So everyone wants to do it. Okay.
I want to.
Everyone
Yeah.
wants to do it.
I think it's better we first watch you do it, then we can go ahead afterwards.
But I think you've seen me use the input dialog activity, and then you've seen me use the if activity. So I think you should be able to do this by yourself.
Good afternoon, sir. Good evening, sir. Sorry, sir. My
good evening.
Yes, sir. Is at that spot where they said define a variable code name for this activity with variable type as string using variables panel. Where are we to insert dialog?
In the what?
In the input dialog.
So in the input dialog,
where do we define
remember
that?
I said, okay, let me go back and tell you about the input dialog again. So it has 4 parts, right? The title is the heading of the input dialog box. The label is the prompt you want to give to the user. Then the input type is what kind of input you want. Then the value entered. I said it's 2 things now. So let's say in the case you want to have a default value.
Okay.
For a dialog box, we will put that value here. Or in the case we want to store our input in a variable, you would put that variable
Sorry,
here.
please,
So
are
that
you
value
displaying
entered
your
has
screen? I
to.
can't see your screen.
Can anyone see my screen?
I can see your screen, sir.
Yes, I can hear your screen.
I can see your screen, sir.
Yes, okay. So I think
I can see your screen, sir.
she needs to check her network. So the value entered is where you put your variable for whatever you want to store the input of the dialog box from.
Okay, so after we click the plus icon, then click on what is it called? Save for later use or something. That's where we
no. You don't click on plus or anything. You just put your variable there. If you want to store
how do we insert the value entered?
I think we covered that. We did that in our last class. So were you in our last class, or were you paying attention in the last class?
Yeah, maybe.
So remember we said there are 3 ways to create variables. So you can create a variable there by right clicking and creating your variable. It's as simple as that. Or by creating it here, then inputting it here. Okay. To every Bobo, are you following?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, good. So there are two ways of doing this one that are straightforward. You can create a variable on that spot now. You just go there, press Ctrl K or right click, then you set everything up. Or you can create in the variables panel, then input it there. So with that in mind, does anyone have any more questions again before we do this activity?
Yes, sir.
Anyone? Ask what, Daniel?
How
Daniel?
did you able to add the case 5, case 6, case 7?
Okay. Let's not go there for now. Let's do this if activity. You don't need that one for the sequences, or for this sequence rather. So can we all see the screen now? Can anyone not see the screen?
Not see the screen.
You can see the screen. So let's do this in the next 3 minutes. Is that enough time?
Okay, sir, it's okay.
Hello? 3 minutes. Oh,
Okay.
5 minutes for them to show me what they did. So that means everyone should be prepared. I might call on anyone.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
This is Emmanuel Fadei.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Okay, Emmanuel.
for this exercise, are we still using the hello world, or we are going to create a new process?
So you create a new process, and
Okay.
I guess we all not do that, right? We are not create new
Yes, I can do
processes.
that.
We just create new process from here, and then apply the necessary details, the name, description, compatibility, and whatnot.
All right.
Okay, so when the time is 12 minutes past 8.
We're using our own our own PDF. We are going. I was watching your screen.
So I hope you can all see. Can we all see the activities on the screen?
Lesson 5.
Yes, you can see it.
Okay, so that is what you'll be using. The time is going. You have 3 more minutes for those who are talking.
Hello, sir.
Hello?
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sir.
Yes.
Listen. Okay, mo ti lọ open PDF sí test now. Èmi ti máa ń rún ìgbà àwọn PDF ẹ lọ́sùn. Don't mind.
Hello, sir, can you hear me?
I'll try.
Hello, sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who was talking before?
Yes, sir, it's Ebenezer, sir.
Okay, Ebenezer. What's happening? How is the process going?
I've not attempted any. I just kind of came back. I had network issues. So I want to know what's really going on.
What's going on is that we are doing an activity. This activity on the
Okay.
screen.
Yeah.
Everyone should do it. So in the next 2 minutes, I'll be calling on, let's say, on 5 random people to at least show us what they've done.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, this looks speaking. Sir, I was the one that was complaining that I couldn't really access the LMS platform yesterday. So I haven't really been able to download the visual UiPath Studio. I'm just downloading it right now. And so
okay.
I
So
don't.
who is that? Look, how?
Yes.
Did you send me an email?
Yes, I sent you an email, but you already notified it. So I'm downloading it right now. So I don't know how I'll be able
So why
to.
didn't you? I didn't you do that since? Look, I mean, I feel like just not.
All right.
Okay then. Okay. Okay. Look, when you are done, also when you are done, okay, so that downloading it now, right? So when you are done, you would just tell us. Probably during our break, you will show us, and also you won't be having our test today again, so you'll be having it tomorrow instead, because there were some logistics issues. So I guess that's good news or bad news. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, but tomorrow is Saturday.
Yes, it's just 15 minutes on the LMS. You won't have class. No, I'll tell you the time. I think we're all on Discord, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'll announce on the Discord group what time the test will be holding.
Excuse me, Mr. Timmy. I can't find the result for input dialogue.
You can't find the result of the input dialogue. This is Rafiat, right?
Yeah.
So explain.
Okay, so following these guidelines, yeah, says I should create a variable, and after I created the variable and stuff. So the next step was to enter the variable in the resource property of the input dialog.
Okay, so now the key word there is now properties panel, right? It's in bold, and I guess we know where that is now. That is on the right of our screen. Properties.
I think that's.
So this is results. So Rafiat, are you fine now?
In the property panel, but where is results?
Sir, please put it back to the screen.
Okay, I'll give everybody 1 more minute because I think you said we're stopping at 12 past 8, but for those people who need extra time.
Okay. So I think we have passed our time. Yeah, so let's start reviewing. Yes, is that
Yes, sir. Speak, sir.
It's who? Luke. Okay, Luke.
Yes, sir.
You're done downloading it.
No, I'm not done. Sir, please, I kind of came late, so I didn't really see the beginning aspect of this simple dialogue. Like when you were explaining it.
I think even you can still follow. You can still follow the what's it called, the instructions. I think they told you what to do there, so just do exactly what's in the.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that immediately explaining the language. I'm almost through.
Okay, so 5 random people. Whose name looks nice, looks interesting. Let's see. Christian Okori is not in class. Okay. David Ohimai. David Ohimai.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
So have you done the what's it called?
No, I was on it, although I was on it, but my system went off. It's television, not battery.
Sorry. So
My
actually,
light went off.
who has finished it? If you have, wait first. If you have finished, raise your hand. Let's see. If you have finished the activity, raise your hand, and you would like to share with us. No one. So no one has finished this thing. Why is nobody talking?
I had issue with my studio. I had to reopen it again.
Who said they have finished theirs? that fit, Justin?
Oh, more, no lies. Oh, I'm not even, in fact, confusion. Yeah, but.
Sir, I'm almost done, sir.
Okay.
Still
Okay. If
hoping
you're
to
not
get
done, mute
what I
yourself.
have.
If you're not done, mute yourself. If you are done, talk.
Sir, can you open the assignment again?
Should open the assignment again. So let's okay. Okay, no one is
Can
done.
we ask a question if we are stuck so we can move forward?
Who is asking a question?
Is not
sounds yes. I guess that's much. Nonna. How are you today and what's your question?
Okay, I'm fine, thank you. So the number, I think number 4, enter the variable in the result property of this dialog, of this input dialog activity using its properties panel. I'm confused here. I need
a
pointer help.
So we all know where the property panel is.
Yes.
Yes. So when you click on an activity, that's where you check out the properties of the activity.
Yes.
So what you do now, what you can do is you click on the input dialog, then look at properties panel. You should see the results property there.
Result property. Oh, yes, I can see.
Okay,
thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Anybody else talk, or is it that we are just getting there?
So please, I think you take it again.
I will take what again?
Yes,
I'm done, but I'm trying to. My laptop is a bit slow, so I'm trying to get it ready to share my screen.
Okay, Kieran. Thank you, Kieran. Zainab.
I am done with the process.
Victor, good. Victor, so let me do something. Victor, just raise your hand up. Zainab, what is the issue? What's your hand up?
Sir, I'm totally lost. I'm not getting it right.
Where are you lost? Or you've not opened the first. You've not opened UiPath Studio.
It's
Where
open.
are you lost?
It's
Okay,
open
and have you created the input dialog activity?
Yes, I guess.
You guess. Then have you filled out the fields in the input dialog activity?
Dialog title. You ask us to put the name, then input label, the name.
So I don't think you're lost. I think you're getting the Zainab.
So
continue.
Then input type. Text box. Multiple choice.
Victor, share your screen. Let's see what you've done. I hope you're on your laptop, Victor.
I'm done as well.
Okay, let's.
I am on my laptop.
So do you want to share your screen with us?
Okay.
Let's marvel at your work.
Where is the share laptop? Share screen.
It should be beside the leave or
the mute.
Beside the mute, yes. Thank you, Zainab.
Okay. Can you see the screen now?
Not yet. Okay, it's coming up. I can see it now. Okay.
Okay, let me.
Let's look at it from the beginning. You're not sharing again.
Oh, got it. Okay, entire screen. Yeah. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so this is it.
Okay, so we have name, enter your name. Okay. name, enter your name. What's the next thing after that?
The marks.
Max.
Yeah.
I think we'll dialogue again. Max. Enter your marks in numeric value. Int max. Okay. Then where's your if activity? If int max equal to 60. Okay. Good. Let's run it. Victor.
Okay. It's running already.
Enter
Can you
your
see?
name. Yes, I can see. Enter your name. So what's your name? Or pick any name. Victor. Good.
Okay. Then the numeric value. Let's say 60.
Let's say 60.
Yes.
And then because 60 is equal to 60, you have passed your exam. So let's do it again and see when it's evaluates to false. So run this one more time. Victor. Oh, Victor. Okay, then that's very good, Victor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So who else has done that?
Excuse, sir. Sorry, Victor. How did you add the int mark in your value insert?
You just declare the
Mine is showing
variable.
error.
You declare the variable as int.
Ask in the chat, Precious.
Okay.
Sorry, can you just do it? Like, can you just do it? Let me see it.
Okay, let me delete the variable first. So I just Control K, then you declare the variable. Then you can come here and
Emmanuel, start preparing to share your screen.
you can come here then change it to int. That's all. It will work. Do you understand?
Sir, I'm done. I'm done.
Who is shouting that they are done?
I'm not shouting, no, I'm just saying.
That's Robert. Okay, Robert, thank you. Raise up your hand so you will see yours. Well, Emmanuel, okay, you're next. Let's see what you did. Okay. Let's see your nice work.
Hello, sir. Please, I can't raise my hand. I have to log in my phone now. I'm using my system. I can't even raise my hand. I can't talk.
George, you can't raise your hand.
No,
this is George. This is George Ojegbena.
Yes. So I have to log in with my phone now.
Why can't you raise your hand, George?
I don't know if I need to log out from my system and log in again. I have to use my phone now.
Okay,
no, I can't unmute myself. I can't raise my hand.
Can't unmute yourself, but you're talking.
I'm using my phone.
Oh, on your laptop?
Yes, I have to log in with another device. I was using just my system before.
Try logging out and logging in.
Okay, I'm through with my own.
All right. Emmanuel, let's see what you have for us.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So
good.
This is
name. Have name, entire name.
Okay, I think it's okay now. Thank you.
All right, Judge. So let's run and see. Last exercise 1.
Okay. All right. Mr.
Okay.
Reality. So this is the message box.
Okay. Good. And then for the false, no, this is true. So for the false now, when the marks are lower than 60.
So, no. Okay. I see it.
Yes.
So,
Good. Okay. Thank you very much, Emmanuel.
welcome. Thank you.
You just we just take one more person and continue. So I think Robert.
Mr.
Oh, no,
Is
I'm
this your
ready,
own
sir.
like,
who is that? Who is calling me?
George.
Starting
I want to know
So I
if
think
it's Rafi your screen that was just shared now or
that was
someone
not my
else's.
screen. That's not my screen. Then what's it called? Faith Justin. Let's share. Then we move on to the next activity. Don't want this time for everyone to share. Faith Justin, do you want to share your screen with us?
Yes, sir.
I want to share my screen.
Okay. Is this Faith? This is not Faith.
It's Bikoya.
Bikoya, you might not be able to share your screen because there are some people whose hands have been up before yours. So. George, not George Ejegbe, just George. Is George here?
I'm unable to share my screen here.
So, but I'm still romancing it. So I'm romancing it.
Continue with that.
Okay, sir.
Sir, can I
Waiting
share?
for you, George. Okay, since it seems like you are ready to share, so
George
Ejegbe, yes, share your screen.
Okay. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Sir, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I guess.
Let's start from here. So this is the if activity.
Oh, I can't see your screen again.
Oh.
Can't see it again.
Should I stop sharing and reshare again?
Yes, do that.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. This is Emmanuel Fadi.
Okay, Emmanuel.
Well, I can't see anything in the chat box. I tried opening the chat box, but nothing is showing. I don't know.
Can you send the message? Can you type in the chat box?
No, I
Try
can't.
typing. So I think you might have to leave and come in again. The Teams has I don't know, they have some sort of security setting that just allows some people to not they allow some people to access the chat and then they don't allow others. But then
I tried sending. I tried sending
log out and
chat.
try leaving and joining again.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, you need to grant me permission to share again.
Yeah, you can share.
The share button is not active.
George,
same as mine.
Yes, I know. But I have to give you permission to share. So I gave George earlier. I don't know why he said I should give him again.
Because I was sharing, you said I should stop sharing and reshare again.
So Justin is waiting to share.
Justin. I'm taking one last person, so I have to share the next one. So George, let's make it fast. I think it's nothing. We still have lots of things to cover today. Can you share? Can you share now?
No, sir.
Okay, then Faith, Justin, share. Because here I have given you permission to share your screen and you seem to still not be able to share. Justin, can you share?
I'm unable to share from here. It's
Justin,
only
also.
meeting. Yes, sir. It's only meeting organizers.
Interesting. Hmm.
Sorry, sir. Can you see my message?
Who's that?
Sorry. Good evening,
Please,
sir.
Emmanuel Fadi.
Please, Afisa. Please, I was actually not available for yesterday's class, so I'm finding it very difficult to locate the
Emmanuel, your message is still the same.
Okay, thank you.
I can see your message, Emmanuel.
All right, thank you.
So Robert. Oh, my mistake. For not being able to share. Let's see. Zion, try and share.
Okay, I'm actually
Zion.
trying. Yes, I can hear you, sir. I'm actually trying to share.
Sir, somebody removed me after you called my name.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Sorry, Robert. Sorry about that. I was trying to grant you permission to share. Then I mistakenly hit the wrong button. Zion, can you share? Nona, can you share also?
Oh, I'm trying to share, sir. Can you see my screen?
Can anyone see his screen?
No.
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 Nona, can you try and share?
Okay.
Seems that nobody wants to share their screen with us today again.
Yeah,
Saying
my own
only
screen can
meeting
share.
organizer and presenter can share.
Yeah, so I know I have to give people permission to share. So I have given Zion and Nona permission to share. So I want to see if they can.
Samai is still telling me video sharing is disabled by the administrator.
Wow. Interesting. No, same thing for you. Okay, Nana is sharing, so oh, sorry about that. Share again, Nana. Is Nana still here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so can we all see her screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Let's
Congratulations.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see your automation. Let's run
Okay.
and
So this is my first input box. And then the second input box.
I think you should collapse the variables pane, can you? So that we can see it.
Is it better?
Just click on that variables below to collapse.
Where? This one?
continue. Just continue, Don't
Okay.
click on that, yes.
This one?
Yes, that one.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so my if statement.
And then yeah, so run. Let's run and see if it's
Sorry, my stem is slow. Is it supposed to be showing stop?
Yeah, I think yes, when to showing stop.
Okay.
Yeah, this might take a while.
I think this can take a while though.
Yeah, this might take a while.
Might take a while. Or should I, when the result comes out, should I grab it and send?
Let's put in the chat. Let's
Okay,
continue
I'll do
with
that.
our class.
Okay, thank you.
So we've looked at, I hope now we all understand how the if activity works, and we've all gotten familiar with the fields in the the fields in the if activity, then the else, the condition, and we all know how each of them works. Now we'll be looking at the switch activity again. Now remember, switch activity allows us to perform or to make decisions based on multiple conditions or based on the value of a specific operation. And then it has its own three parts: has the expression, has the default, and then has the cases. And the cases are what we compare to our expression to make the decisions. And we had an example before, okay, of when we had 5, 6, 7, and what happens when it was 5, what happened when it was 6, what happened when it was 7, what happened when it was 10 or 8. And you saw that our default activity is what ran at that point. So there's an activity again that we can do, but we will not be doing that. You can do that in your own free time. Do that on your own. Let's continue with the lecture. Now there are differences between the two types of control-based, decision-based control flow. And then so for the if is suitable for taking a decision, while the switch activity is suitable for testing the value of a variable against a list of case values. If activity checks for equality and logical expression. So that means it has to evaluate to true or false, or if it's equal, true; if it's not equal, false. While the switch activity only checks for equality. So it only checks if something is equal to something, and then produces an outcome based on that. Then the if activity expression decides whether the statement inside the then or else section is to be executed. So we know that when it's true, the then is what's executed, and when it's false, the else is what's executed. And for the switch, the expression decides which case is to execute. So whenever the expression matches the case, it is that case that is being matched that gets executed. Otherwise, the default activity is executed. Now, developers prefer to use the switch activity over the if activity because it's easier to debug and read. That also comes down to the fact that because you can use the switch to check for multiple conditions. Now, this is what we did in the last example about checking for 5, 6, and 7. It's possible to do this with what?
I just did the this thing finish.
Okay. Yes, but you didn't have to disturb us with that. Well. Thank you.
Okay.
So remember in the last example now that we're checking against the value of 5, 6, and 7. Now it's possible to do the same thing with an if activity. But then that would just bring up more confusion and make code harder to read. So it's better, or it's easier to read and debug activities, or read and debug decisions that are made with switch activities instead of if activities. Okay. So after that, that is the end of the decision-based control flow. Now we'll be looking at the iteration-based control flow, which is another name for loops. I said we have 3 types of loops: the do, while loop, and for each loop. Okay. Now, I think it's time for our break now. So everyone should go on break and come back by 9 o'clock. And then we'll look at loops in details. And also we'll do some examples and an activity. Is that okay with everyone? Or should we...
Sir, are we still doing the test?
So I think I said earlier that we're not having a test again today. I'll be having it tomorrow, and I'll tell you the time on the what's it called, on Discord. You just go to the LMS and do the tests and submit. No need, there's no class tomorrow, even though there's a test.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
We only have the link to the. We're not on Discord. First of all.
So I think someone posted the link to the Discord channel in this chat, and then also you should have received an email with the link to the Discord and Telegram channels. So check your emails if you receive emails from us.
But if I'm in the Telegram channel, do I have to be in the Discord too? Can you share the same information both ways?
The Telegram channel is mainly for official information, while the Discord is something you guys can talk to yourselves on. Because if you notice on Telegram, it's not open to everyone. But then I would post it on Telegram also, just in case of people who are not in the two groups. But then it's better to be on Telegram because, as I said, you can talk to your classmates there, talk to me there, because I think I'm there too. So if I see anything that concerns me, I would respond.
Sorry, I think the purpose of Telegram is kind of defeated, considering the fact that conversation has been disabled on Telegram.
Good evening, sir. Sorry? I think the purpose of Telegram has been,
because we can't chat there. It has been disabled.
Yes, so as I said, it's mainly for official announcements. So there won't be there won't be any mix up. The Discord is what is open for you guys to chat with each other in.
Hello, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Look at the chat box. I just sent something. Is it that the thing is pop up? Congratulations, you have passed the exam. If the person scores 60.
What is what?
I sent the screenshot to the chat box.
Good. That's good. That's good. Okay, Nana has dropped hers too. Okay, thank you.
Sir, can you add me to the Telegram page?
Hello, sir.
Who is that?
George.
So
Daniel,
send me an email, and
please.
I will do that. This is your number.
Please, I have a challenge. I have done the assignment, the process, but I keep having red flags across the dialogue and the likes. I don't know. Can I share my screen to show you that?
This is Daniel. So Daniel, you can share your screen.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sorry, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, so I am having some challenges with my network. So I didn't see majorly most of the things you were showing us today. I wanted to know if you could email me the record of the class today so I could go through it before tomorrow. That it would be uploaded so I can go through it and prepare for the test for tomorrow.
I should email you the what?
Send me the mail of the class recording. Don't know if it will
So
be possible.
yeah,
If
the
you
class
could upload
recording.
channel
Yeah,
this night.
the link will be on. The link will be. Yeah, I'll upload it this night. The link will be on the LMS like every other one. Now, okay, Daniel. Wow, I can see so many.
Mr. Timlane.
So many. Who is calling that Timlane?
Is that Timlane?
Oh,
This is Precious.
So many red flags. Okay, Precious. Yes, Precious. I'm waiting for you to say something.
So I've sent you a mail, George, with my number.
Okay, so
you
Daniel,
can add me to the Telegram page.
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
All right. Daniel, I don't think you followed the instructions very well. So if you open the instruction sheet now.
Okay.
It says in the title, what's in the title? In the title, it says enter the text name. So you can see when they said name, they put the text in colon, in double quotes.
Oh,
yes, he did put the code.
Yeah, he didn't put the code. That's what I'm saying. So he didn't follow the instructions in the text.
I
See the
understand.
names in double quotes.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll do that. Thank you.
All
Mr.
right,
Timlane. Please, I have a request.
Okay, Mr. Precious, what's your request?
Tomorrow is weekend. Sunday is weekend. See, I'm not the kind of person that focuses my mind on doing all that stuff on weekends, like job, especially classes. Can we shift the class to like a work week? Let's know that we're doing it on
There's no
Monday.
class.
No,
There's no
like the
class
test,
tomorrow.
like the test. Yeah, I know, but I want to structure my mind to okay, I'm not done. I'm done with this thing for the weekend. Then going back to the LMS tomorrow to go and take this.
Oh,
Like
Precious, it's just 15 minutes of your time. You should be able to spare 15 minutes of your weekend for something you
I'll have
really
to
want.
read.
Something you really want to. I mean, I would like to assume you really want to become or take advantage. You really want to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah,
You want to
sure,
become
I
a
do.
developer. So I mean, I feel like you can spare 15 minutes of Saturday on a simple test. So it's just
So I'm saying it is simple, it's simple, it's simple. Shit. Okay, no. Say it's simple.
I said it's simple.
Okay.
I mean, I
Problem.
said it's simple. If you read it to be simple. In fact, no, you should be in class to be simple. You don't even have to read. You should be in class to be simple.
Start learning.
Like, let me rephrase. If you've been in class and you'll be paying attention to be simple. Okay, someone was calling me.
Start learning.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a question concerning the switch. How many conditions can it handle? Like the maximum number of conditions?
Maximum number of conditions for switch. I don't think there's a maximum number of conditions.
So the number of conditions is unlimited.
Yes, as much as you need.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Hello?
hear you. Damn you, Yusuf.
This is Jamie. I'm very sorry. tonight, I'm just like I'm not at home and I'm not with my laptop right now. You can get me. So
Yeah,
I've not
I'm
been able to read
following.
the work. So and
Okay.
I've seen, although I'm following, yeah, but I'm not with my
Good,
laptop
good.
right now. So, but I don't know, maybe all these tests are being recorded, all those stuff. But I'm going to do mine. Maybe later I'll watch the video on LMS. But that's why I think I should confirm that.
Confirm that the tests will be recorded.
Yeah.
I would say yes and no.
Okay.
So it's not
Yes.
yes, no, in the sense that I mean there's no real grade. I say no real grading use of the tests.
Okay. If I have any
But then
problem
yes,
with
but no in the sense that it's also show that you are actively participating in the course, so you will know those who are serious.
Yeah.
And in the case you want to determine anything from you guys, you might check people who have been taking tests, who have been doing assignments, because there'll be assignments too at some point. I've been doing
Okay.
assignments
Sure.
and so on and
Sure.
so forth.
If I have problem doing it or doing the process, can I send it to your email or the next class? Can I ask questions?
You have a problem with the process. You mean this process now?
Yeah, I mean this process.
Okay, so I mean, first of all, you can put it in the chat, and if no one answers you, then after the class, you can ask, and then if you maybe for some reason, maybe your phone dies or your laptop dies, then you can send me a mail in that order.
Okay, thank you. You know, the problem we have here in Nigeria is the electricity and the time factor. So I'm very sorry.
Yeah, so that's why I said if it dies, you can send me a mail. But if you are still here, I think it will be better if I answer a question live, so you can actually see and demonstrate. And so that I think that will help you remember better. But then if condition like light or something, then you can send me a mail.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate your answer.
All right. So all these hands up, do you all have questions or why are hands up? George, Nona, George, Kirian, Ebenezer, and Honesty. Okay. I guess they've all gone for a break.
So please, I'm here.
Yeah, so I was asking why your hands were up. Do you have any
trying to battle with the work. Like I'm trying to get the if.
You are doing?
Sir?
But you understand what you are doing now?
Yeah, but I'm trying to get the if activity. I don't know.
So just search for if in the activities panel. I think that should not hold you back a lot.
So sir.
All right, honest.
Okay. Sorry, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Who is talking?
George.
Okay, George.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. How come I couldn't share my screen? So can I try it now? At least so I can answer questions in the class now.
So George, I don't know why you could not share your screen.
So can you grant me access now? Let me try it again.
Mr. Timmy.
Okay, George, maybe for the next one, I'll grant it. I mean, there's no.
Mr. Timmy.
I'll grant it for the next. Yes, Mr.
Popola.
Mr. Popola. Yes, Mr. Popola.
Yes.
So George,
Okay,
next one.
I'm speaking for myself now.
I don't know if you can make the test maybe sometimes in the evening because some of us have work tomorrow morning.
Evening. So is that okay with everyone? Evening. Let's say around 7.
Yes, sir. Better.
Thank you.
Yes, it's fine, sir. It's fine, sir.
Yes, sir. That's fine by me also. Thank you.
Okay. So okay. So
Better
that's
still, can you make it open all day? So after tomorrow, you can remove it.
I'm not making it open already.
Oh, sir. To make it more flexible, because some people
Life is
might chance
not
in the morning, some of chance in the evening.
Mr. Timileyin?
life is not flexible. So sometimes.
Hello, sir.
Sorry?
Please, I don't know what's wrong with my UiPath Studio.
Mr. Timileyin?
The orchestrator is not connected, and I'm trying to sign in since it's still not connecting. I don't know why.
Orchestrator, just leave that one for now. You don't need orchestrator at this point in time.
Okay,
When
that's
we
number
get
one.
there.
Number two is that I actually yesterday I was not available for the class. I was on transit yesterday, so I just go back today, and I missed yesterday class. But I've been trying to find my way around it. Actually, I find it very difficult to locate the variable panel. It's not showing on my studio here. The interface is not on the interface, and I've been trying to walk myself around it.
It's not on the interface. It should be in the interface now. At the bottom of the screen, click on variable.
I only saw output and error list at the bottom here.
So explore your studio. Check everywhere. You should be able to see it. Or you can send me a screenshot of your page on the chat. So I'll tell you. Okay?
All right, sir.
Mr. Timileyin?
Yes, Mr. Lamide.
You guys are overshadowing
Can I
me.
run my... Can we run it now? I'm done.
Run it and put a picture in the chat.
Hello, sir.
Hello?
I just sent my own to the group chat, sir.
Who is that? Daniel Batunde. Yes, I've seen it. It's very good. You just passed the exam. That's nice. I've seen Kirian Zone 2. So who else is going to put this person? Joy. It's not 7 a.m., 7 p.m. Nothing's happening 7 a.m. tomorrow. Joy and Rospiat, 7 p.m. Test to be holding 7 p.m. tomorrow. Hello? Okay, so this kind of nice. Hello?
It was a very long process, but finally.
Good. Yeah, everybody is still dropping. So let's continue with our class. I think our break should be over now. Let's quickly
Sir, can I
run.
just... Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm sorry, I said due to the network issues, I've not been really following up. I want to know if I could send my own assessment to you via email, maybe the screenshots, as soon as I go through the class after this night.
You want to send an email? Okay, no problem.
Sorry?
Said no problem. Hello?
Thank you, sir.
Just continue with our class. So we've looked at the decision-based control flow, and now we've looked at the iteration-based one. Now, when you hear the word iteration, it means repeating something over and over, or repeating the same thing over and over. Now, this type of control flow works by repeating a set of activities over and over until a condition is met. Okay, or until the condition is no longer met. Now, look at this diagram, for example. So we go from start, and we count from 1 to 10. Rather, we count 1, we check if it's less than, if it's equal to 10, we go again, we count 2, 3, 4, until we can't count again. Then we go and stop. So this whole cycle of repeating this counting from 1 to 10 is what we call a loop or an iterative control flow. And we have 3 types of loops, or 3 basic types of loops in UiPath: the while loop, the do while loop, and then the for each loop. Okay. Now the do while loop works by executing the activities first, then checking the condition. So in do while loop, you execute your activities, then you check your condition, then do that again until your condition is no longer true. And what this means is that the do while loop will be executed at least once. Even while now the next type of loop we have is the while loop. Now the while loop, actually, unlike the do while loop checks the condition first, checks if it's true, then executes the activities, then checks again until the condition is no longer true. So a while loop might not execute if the condition is always false. And then the last type of loop is a for each loop. This for each loop is special because it makes iterating through collections easier. Makes it, I mean, you can also go through collections with the while loop, but the for each loop makes it a lot easier, makes it more readable for programmers. Now, let's talk about the loops in detail. The while loop, as we said before, executes a sequence while the condition is met, and it checks, rather it executes the sequence first before checking the condition. Okay, so let's see that in action. Now let me delete all this. Now let's check our do while loop. Do while. So drop it there. Now, 2 parts has the body and the condition. Now, as the technician said, the body is executed first. Before checking the condition. Okay, so let's say now we want to make body to be a message box. Let's use our popular message box. Or actually, let's use our new activity we just learned about, the input dialog box. Input dialog. Let's start that. Create a name, title. Let's call it dialog box 2. Label should be how old are you? Sorry, I got my quotes. How old are you? And input to be text and value. Create a variable for age here. Let's call it age. Okay. Age should be of type int 32 because our age is a number. Now, we want this whole set of activities to keep running until someone guesses the age. Actually, I think it's a better thing to do. So, age. And we want this to keep executing until we can get the actual value of the age. So think of like a game, for example, of getting someone's age. We want the user to keep guessing until they get the actual value. But then we also want the user to be able to make that first guess. And to do that, we need this dual loop. We can say when age is equal to 65. Error is declared. It's not declared. Okay. So can you also see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, who can?
Yes.
You are seeing this red flag now. This red flag is saying it's not declared.
There's no quotation.
Which is not successful. Who can tell me what to do to solve this red flag based on what we've done so far in UiPath?
Yes, you adjust the scope this variable.
That was title, right?
I think it's because the age is not an int.
There is no quotation between the age equals to 65.
Exactly.
Remember, I said age should be an int because we're comparing numbers. So title said we should adjust the scope. So that's exactly what we have.
The age has not been declared.
The quotation, sir.
No, I've declared it. I declared
But I declared it. The scope.
As title said adjust the scope. So you can see that the age scope is only body, and this condition is outside the body. So because the scope is narrower, you can't access age outside. So all you can do now is change the scope to sequence. And see
Since I'm not
that's cleared. Not title.
No, I'm not title, so I'm sure.
I'm Titus. I'm Titus, sir.
Yeah, and your status are outside now.
Sir?
Who answered the question? It's not Titus.
I'm Titus. I say I'm Titus.
I know you're Titus.
No,
Did you answer my question?
I'm not Titus.
I didn't get
answer the question. That's why I said I'm not Titus.
What's your name? All right, what's your name?
My name is Titus.
Yes, okay, thank you, Sharon. So as Sharon said, change the scope of our variable.
I said Olushola.
So sorry. Olushola has told us to change the scope of our variable. And now we can see that we can access it here. So if we run this on this program, So they say it says pick an age. If I pick 7, for example. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
How did you change the scope?
I changed the scope in the variable panel.
Change sequence. Yeah.
See, there's a scope. Who was asking that question?
Okay.
Yeah. I changed the scope in the variable panel. So.
Okay.
Okay. Age 32. Age is equal to 65. Oh, I see my mistake. So I see my mistake. I was checking if age is equal to 65. So what we have to do is check if the age is not equal to 65. So if it's 65, we want the loop to close. Not 65, we want to keep checking. So, okay. It's like I've forgotten my not equal to sign.
The expression before the equal to.
Sorry?
Yeah,
the exclamation mark before the equals to. Yeah,
yes.
it should work this way.
First. Yep, I did that first. So same thing. That's why I expected.
Be forward slash.
Now, do you need to put them in quotes?
I think the function can come after.
Oh. So this is not equal to for UiPath. Okay. So unlike language where we use what's it called? Exclamation mark and equal to. This is not equal. Now, so whenever the age is not equal to 65, you will keep running the program. So now let's look at it. Click on age, I click 6, then it opens again. I pick 9, it opens again until I pick 65, then closes. That is our basic do while loop. You first run the body of the.
Hello, sir.
First run the body of the code, and then we check the condition. Okay. Now the next type of loop we have is the while loop. Now, as you said, the while loop. The while loop.
Can I ask a question?
Put your question in the chat, and someone will answer you. So you will not distract the flow of the class. Okay. So that it runs the body of the code first. That is our dialog box. Then it compares whatever we are comparing in the condition. In this case, I'm comparing this age to my real age. Oh, I think that's my real age. Or to a real age. And then if it's true, if it's false, it keeps running again. If this evaluates to true, then so if this evaluates to true, keeps running again. And if this evaluates to false, it breaks out of the while loop. Okay. Now the next type of loop we saw is the while loop. Now the while loop does works similar to the while loop, but then it's instead of running the condition first, instead of running the sequence first, it checks the condition and then runs the body. So if the condition evaluates to true, that is when the body will run. And if the condition evaluates to false, then the dual loop will break, or the while loop would not execute. And an example of that, you can do the same thing again with this same sequence that we did. Let's make a while loop again. We can check age is not equal to 5, and then it's the same body here. Okay, when we run this now, what do you think will happen when we run this now? Anyone? Honestly, looking at this code and from what I've said so far about a while loop, if you run this, what's going to happen? Honestly, Augusta away. If you run this code now, this while loop code, with our condition set as age is not 65, and then our dialog box inside, what should happen?
Should keep looking until any number that is not 65 is entered.
Okay, thank you. So what happens is that because at first age now is assigned to default, which in this case is 0, this what's it called? This condition would evaluate to true, and then the body will run. Okay, and then you can keep inputting the ages, and so as we see, same thing again. 7 runs, 5 runs, 65 breaks. So that is, I think you can all see the similarities and differences between the dual loop and the while loop. How a dual loop executes a body first before checking the condition. How the while loop checks the condition first before executing the body. And the last type of loop we have is the. Also, before we move forward, let's do this activity. Okay, let's use this activity. And what I want you guys to do is actually to use the while loop, then also do it with a do while loop. That makes sense. You think you can do that? Do we all think we can do that? Can do this?
It's not clear enough. I don't understand.
This one is not clear enough.
You can give it a try.
What's not clear enough?
The instruction you said concerning this exercise.
So I said you should do this activity now. The activity says demonstrate how to use the while loop. So create this process. Then I want you to also create another process. But this time, instead of using a while loop, I want you to use a do while loop. Is that clear enough now?
Yes.
Okay. So because this might take more time, let's give ourselves 15 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes actually. So 15 minutes, then and our time is starting now. So by 9:50, let's be done. So are we all clear with the information, with the task at hand now?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. You asked not to do.
Yes, sir. I'm asking you to do this activity with a while loop, and then also do it with a do while loop. And if you see, there are some new activities there. So just try follow the instructions to the best of your abilities. And if you are stuck, just keep trying. But don't interrupt the class. Just keep trying. Then after 15 minutes are done, if nobody has done, then I would also explain again, basically. Explain again how to do it. So your time starts now by.
Sir, kindly leave this page here. Kindly leave this page.
Hello. Yes.
Mr. Timinai,
Yes.
did you say we should do this exercise for a do while loop and in a while loop?
Yes. Exactly that.
Okay.
For a while and a do while loop. Yeah.
Okay.
So by 40 minutes past 9, we would review again. And you know, you move forward to the last type of loop, or the last basic type of loop is the for each loop.
Mr. Timlin, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is Candy, sir.
Okay, Candy.
Sir.
Candy.
So can you please remind us how I the dual loop, please?
How you what?
How I can get the dual loop. The dual loop.
So you can get it from the activities panel. Just search for do space while. See it there. Is that what you meant?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, some hands are up. So, George, Ojekwe, Honest Alabi, Rachel, Titus, and Robert. What's happening?
Sorry, I'm finding it. I'm having an issue here getting my variable panel out. I need assistance.
Yeah, who was that?
Clinton.
What's happening? Yeah, you can.
Sorry, I can't get it very well. The line.
Then what exactly is the issue with the variables panel? Is it not coming up or you can't locate it at all?
Let me say I can't locate it. Let me not say it's not coming up.
Do you want to share your screen then?
I'm logging in with a different system, but let me see if I can.
Okay, so take a picture of it and put it in the chat. A clear enough picture.
Yes.
Sir.
Yep.
It's not showing on your screen.
What? It's not okay. You mean?
Hello, sir.
Okay, I've just dropped an image of it.
Hello, sir.
Who?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I hear you.
I'm done with mine, sir.
Who is that? So, who is that? Who? Sorry, your name.
Kirian.
Kirian. Okay.
Yes,
and you want to share with us, right?
So I want to take a screenshot and send because my computer is a bit slow. Or should I just go ahead and share?
Okay. Take a picture and send. It's two. So you send for the while and then for the do while loop. And then send your results.
In the output channel.
Yeah, the output panel. Yeah, use right line. So the output panel will show your results. For Clinton, did you try clicking on variables? Like at the bottom?
Yes, I did so.
It did not come up.
It didn't come up.
Okay, so try and expand.
Okay,
Like move your arrow
okay.
to the point where you see.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done the expansion. It's visible. Thank you very much. Thank you. I've seen that.
Hello, Mr. Timley. Hello.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Sorry?
Hello?
Alex,
What's the question?
okay, so because I'm doing that I'm doing the do while loop first, and towards the end, this instruction for the while loop says in the two text box, so there's no two text box in the do while. So can I run it just like that after inserting the assign activity and all that? I'm done
So
already.
there's a two box in the assign activity.
And I can't see any two box.
Assign. If you assign, you see
Yes.
two boxes. You see two boxes in your assign. 1, 2, 2 boxes, one on the left and one on the right. So
Okay,
one of them is the 2.
Okay. Oh.
Hello, sir.
Ito.
This is Phil.
Okay, Kieran, I've seen your screenshots. Chat. Fine, okay. Fine. Fine. Okay, thank you, Kieran. So I guess this is for the while loop. Hello,
The one that you
Kieran.
showed on your
Yes, so for the do while loop, let's see how you will do that. And take a picture of the process. Do while loop. I'm giving everyone 5 more minutes. So and it's 9:45. You will hopefully look at everything and then finish with this topic. Look at the last type of acceleration based control flow.
So please, on what page is the work for do while loop? I can't seem to find it.
No, so I said
I
use
am
the
done with the
same
exercise.
convert the same loop to a do while loop.
Okay.
Sorry, sir. Please, what's the meaning of adjacent box?
Adjacent box and the box side beside it. So you see two boxes there. There is one and you put in stem. Then the box beside that box, you put in stem plus one. You get that? Follow me again.
Okay. The first
Have you seen
one,
the boxes? Oh,
yes.
The first one you put, yeah.
Assign box.
But you have an assigned variable. You see two boxes. In one, put in temp. In the other one, put in temp plus one.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome.
Hello, sir. I'm having some error trying to run the while loop.
What errors do use that?
Sir?
Okay.
So I'm done with the while loop. So I'll do the while one later. Let me post the result in the
everyone
chat box.
Okay, that's good. So let me also build the automation on the process. So the first step says insert an input dialog box. So the text should be enter number, any number you want to print, define int number. So this should be enter. Assign next thing.
So I've done both for the while loop and the while loop, sir.
Huh? What did you say?
I've done for the do while loop also.
You've done for both of them.
Yes, sir.
Who is that?
Justin.
Justin, okay. So Justin, let's see. Justin, raise up your hand so I will locate you easily. Justin. Okay, so Justin, now share your screen, let everyone see. Everyone, let's learn, take again a glimpse how they should have tackled it. Share your screen now. Hey, Justin, we're still waiting for you.
these are the steps.
What?
I'm trying to share the system slow.
Okay, is anyone else done?
Please, can I ask a question?
Yes, you can ask a question.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, after doing the do while loop and we want to try to attempt the while loop, are we going to start afresh from the command on top, or we could just attach the while activity after the assigned activity, under the assigned activity?
Well, that depends on you. You can just attach, but if you want it to be separate,
okay,
you can create a different workflow for it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Wait, so are you still not ready for us? Yes, Kieran.
Okay. I'm kind of done with the do loop, but I don't know, my laptop is very slow. I just wanted to suggest something to Nona. I don't know if
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so
I can hear you.
what I did to make the work faster was while you're on the main screen, on your main workspace where you did the while loop, you can go to new and then create a new sequence. And what I just did was to copy all my activities and paste them in the new sequence when I've already created the do while activity. So I just copied and pasted certain distances where they're supposed to be, and then I started reassigning the variables, but the variables will not show them. So I just started reassigning them to save you time.
So the long and short is that create a different workflow for the while loop. I think that'll be much easier.
Okay. Thank you, Kieran. Was that Kieran?
Yes, it was.
So I'm still unable to
Okay,
share my
thanks.
So
screen.
Faith, are you now ready for us?
So the shares icon is not working. See, only available for organizers.
Check again.
Okay.
Oh, actually,
Can you see it? You can share now, sir. Can you see?
It's coming up now, but I can't see again. Okay, so in summary of the two iterative control flows we looked at the while loop and the do while loop. And we saw that the do while loop is used to create a sequence or an iteration whereby the activities are executed first before the conditions are checked, while the while loop creates an iteration whereby the condition is checked first and then the sequence of activities is then run. So each of these two loops have their specific uses, specific advantages. The dual loop is useful when you want your activities to run at least once, even if your condition will not be true. The activity will run once, and you will see the outcome of the activity. While the while loop makes sure that your conditions, your activities don't run unless that condition is met. So I hope you can now, imagine the different use cases, different use scenarios you would, as you want to use each loop in case. And In your free time tomorrow, today, Saturday, for those that sleep very late, tomorrow, Sunday, before Monday, you guys should practice more. Practice on how to use the while loop, how to convert between a do while loop and a while loop, and then think of scenarios where you'd want to use each of either loop. Something nice I also like you guys to do is work on processes yourself. So one day you can come with any process you have come up with, maybe a game using everything you learned so far, or it might be a simple process of identifying something. So one day or during your free time, just try and explore, use the UiPath platform, use everything you've learned so far to hone your skills and make sure you're at the top of your game. And don't forget to prepare for your test tomorrow. This is the end of the class. I wish everyone good night. Okay, Justin is sharing your screen, so let's see your screen before we leave the class. Justin, let's start from the beginning.
Kindly
don't forget about the link for today's class.
I can't do
I will not forget.
The system is very slow.
I'm still working on the assessment to give us. Is it while activity that we are using or do I?
Using both of them. Once you can share your screen now. You're using both of them, so you're making one using while, making another one using do while.
According to the instruction, insert a while activity below the assigned activity.
And I said you should convert it to while loop also, according to my own instructions.
Share screen. See.
What's happening here? Good now, yeah. Oh, query, sorry. Input dialog message.
Please, can you see my screen?
I can see your screen. So, how did this happen?
That is why you have to share.
Okay, so how did you encounter this error? If now, so how did you get the error? Did you just appear out of nowhere? I don't want to talk. So let's bring the class to an end. Wish everyone good night. Good night's rest.
Excuse me, sir. Please, before you go.
Hope you had a nice class. Then I'll still be able to take questions.
Hello. Please.
Yes, Victor.
On the platform, the HiMark Tech platform, the practice session, when we were having orientation the other day, the man made mention of we practicing on particular topics. Hello?
I'm here, I'm listening.
So I tried the practice test and it seemed that it still covered everything we are supposed to do. So I don't know how to go about it because I wanted to do practice on the first 3 classes we had.
Okay, so yes, the practice tool on the elements now covers the whole course content for the associate certification. But then, I mean, at some point, maybe before the beginning of next week, you should see, that's the first Monday, you see practice questions for everything you've done so far.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So good night, everyone who wants to leave. And if you have questions, as usual, raise your hand and you will attend to them one after the other. Zion. Opo.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, do you want me to share my screen and show you what I've done? Or the classes?
No, it's questions now. It's questions. You have done fine. I trust you to have done it.
Yeah, I've done
it
it already.
Questions, yeah. That's good.
No, I don't have questions.
I mean, you can put your screenshots in the chat. So
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I've done them already, but I don't have any questions. But I think I've responded.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. So, Omota, you're more yellow.
Hello, can you hear me?
So please, I have a question.
Omota, you're more yellow. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes. Can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. So thank you so much for today's class. I really enjoyed it. I just have two concerns, two questions. The first one is the first activity you gave us. I was able to do it, and to send it to the platform was a bit difficult for me. So I was trying to find my way around it, trying to upload the activity. So I couldn't do that. I don't know, probably because I'm using a laptop. I don't know why. So I actually expected someone to reach out to me on the chat because I dropped it on the chat, but I didn't see any response from anybody. So that's why I'm raising my hand for the for that.
Okay, so next time that happens, you can try leaving, then joining again. Most times that works to talk for people who are having issues with accessing the chat. Okay. Matayo, I can't hear you.
Yeah, what did you say, sir? I can't hear you clearly.
Then next time that happens, try leaving, then joining again. That works for most people.
Hello, please, can you use the chat? I can't really hear what you're saying, sir. I can't hear you clearly, sir.
Manuel Fade.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, in this last exercise that we did in the class, I don't really get some. We assign function. I think I saw assign. Then sorry, let me open my UiPath Studio. Assign, then the
I didn't hear what the guy
right line or something. So those two, what are their functions? Can you just briefly explain?
Huh?
So you assign activity.
That's not what I'm saying. If I put it on this speaker, I can't talk. If I talk, you will not hear. And if I put
the
it on
activity allows you to assign or give values to the expressions or to variables. While the right line basically just prints the output panel.
So the
instead of message box.
Okay, it will now print it out like a list or
to print something like that, or to be printing out line by line, because you're writing a line to the output panel. So that's what the right line does.
Okay, so that means the assigned value, the value I put in my assign will be like a constant. It will always be there until I change it in the program.
I don't understand what you mean by constant.
Like let's say in the exercise I was told to put one in one of these variable. So does it mean that that one will always be there until I decide to change it to maybe 5 or something?
That you are giving that variable the value of 1.
Okay.
So it can change later on in the program, but at that point in time, you're giving the value of 1.
Okay, but that one, if you go to the if you go to the variable panel, you won't see it under the default.
Because it's not the default. The default is 0, but you are assigning it a value now. Like saying you're making x equals to 1 now. Before x is equal to 0.
Yes, even though you don't know what x is.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, now I understand. Thank you.
Okay. And next person is Robert. Robert, again.
How do you say? So you didn't know that you're close to your phone.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. I have a question.
Good evening.
Okay, sir. I think I'm more of confused about the classwork we are meant to do, because I've seen the do while assignment on slide 23. I want to confirm if that's what we are meant to do.
No. What I want you to do is I want you to convert. So we talked about the differences and similarities between a while and do while loop. I want you to convert that while loop activity into do while loop.
Oh wow.
You get?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's simple. It's simple.
Let me keep practicing.
Yeah, let's keep practicing. What you doing? Next person is Thomas.
Balumi.
Good evening.
I installed the app again. I tried installing it again, like you asked me to do, and it's giving me this troubleshoot message the last person just shared, and I've not been able to follow with the practicals, and I feel very frustrated. The app told me I've installed multiple times.
Oh, did you uninstall first before installing it again?
Yes, that I sent an email, and that's what you asked me to do. So it didn't run. I had to install it again, and it gave me this last message this person just shared that you asked how the person got there. It gave me something like that.
So you uninstalled it first and then installed it again, and then you said you have multiple versions. But I'm just trying to understand.
He said I've installed multiple times. Something like that. Put it well, but something of that line. So I've not been able to.
So that means what is happening is that I think it's detecting multiple instances of video on your laptop or your computer. So I think what you need to do now is go to your control panel and control panel programs and check if this thing has been installed multiple times. If it's not there, then you can always go from there. But try and check if you have 2 instances of UiPath Studio installed.
Yes, sir. Because I've not been.
Hello, sir.
It does not work. Sorry?
If it doesn't work, I should do what?
Can I suggest something, sir?
Okay.
Okay, probably for those having issues, is there a way they can share their screen with you so you can help them with the installation via like TeamViewer, probably an online, so you can help them access probably their system, then help them with the installation. Just thinking aloud.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So,
Okay.
anyhow, take me when if it happens again, send me an email. Then we'll work on what to do from there. If you need to use TeamViewer or any desk, something like that. So, or send me an email.
Please,
Like we did last time.
sir, please.
Okay. I said, look in your control panel. Try to see if you have two instances of UiPath Studio, and if you don't have multiple instances, I think send me a picture of the error message. Send to my mail, so I'll look at it better, and then I'll respond to you via email too. If I need to, what's it called, control your system to find a solution. We would work it out from there.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So I hope I'll pass tomorrow's test because I've not been able to follow up yesterday and today's class.
Now, if you've been paying attention in class, you should be able to pass tomorrow's test. Sorry, Olushola. Sorry about that.
Mr. Timila, you didn't call me. You did not call me.
Olushola.
Hello. Olushola is
This George Olamide.
Yes, I'll get to you eventually, George Olamide.
Yes.
Olushola.
Yes, it's Olushola. I have a problem as regards the while command or the while sequence. It's like the dialog box, I put it inside, but not just taking it in. I think I put it outside the while loop. That is, the input will be provided before the condition was considered. But it just keep repeating whatever that's inside the while loop. It didn't break out of the loop.
Well, did your condition ever evaluate to false? Remember, the while loop has the condition. So, from what I understood, you put your input dialog outside to get the input, right?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Then you created your while loop.
Yes, I did.
So what's inside the while loop now?
I repeated that same condition of age in lesser or greater than 65. That's the condition in the while loop.
Okay, so I get that. And what should have happened is I should have put the dialog box into the while loop, to the body of the while loop, because that's where you're getting your inputs from to check against check the condition. So you should do that instead.
Okay. So there will be another input before the exit. Okay.
You don't need an input before the while loop.
Okay.
In this case.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. I will redo it. Thank you, sir.
What do you mean? Okay, Olamide, George. Yes.
Thank you so far.
I will talk after he's done. Olamide, George.
Okay, I should hold on, right?
No,
Hold on. Okay, so
We'll talk
please,
after.
can you share your screen again? I just want to see something like so.
So I have closed my studio.
Yeah.
So, but where exactly do you want to check now?
What I'm having is, am I going to create dual loop before the while loop or while loop before the dual loop?
So that depends on you. You can do it
Okay,
in,
anyway.
as Kieran said, you can do it in, you can do it in two workflow. You can do it in two files. You can do
I
it.
can also do it separately, right?
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay, okay. Thanks, sir.
You're telling me you can talk now. Okay. Maybe he's not talking again.
I'm still talking. I said, can you hear me, sir?
Hello?
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Okay, I sent something on the chat box after doing the project.
Okay.
That's what pop up on my screen.
And
So you
then
said I
press
should
OK.
input. Okay. So I was directed back to the main menu. I'll be the studio.
Okay, that's good then. That means it's working very well. I've seen something on your studio.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. George. JK.
Yeah, sir. I'm having error if I'm trying to run my while loop. So I don't know if I'm missing, maybe not putting some of the activities on the right place. So I want you to see my screen.
Did you follow the instructions directly?
Yes, I follow the steps.
You can share your screen now.
So I don't have access to share screen. Still showing only the organizers can share screen.
I don't know how to. I'm giving access here again. You can try leaving and coming back in and see that will change something. Robert. Adechari Daniel. Adechari Daniel. George said, try leaving and coming back in. That will fix it. Adechari Daniel, are you here?
Evening, sir. Sir, I have just been able to find my way around the lots of errors that I showed you the other time, but then giving it the last trial. Yes, I showed you some error on my
yes, I remember.
Yes, and I've been trying to run it since then. I've not been able to make progress with it. So I don't know if I can share my screen and then run it so that if you see it, you can be able to tell me. I will do the other while loop and the other. I will do that over the night, but I'm able to get this. That one will not be difficult, sir.
So I've logged out. I'm logged in again now. So I want you to grant me access.
Are you sure you logged out? I didn't see you go out.
I did, but I'm still connecting with my phone, so I don't know if I should just log out with both device.
Yes, log out with both devices. But I still see you here. Like you didn't leave. So, Daniel, are you still having those errors? That is the first question now.
No, I've been able to find my way around those errors, and I've gotten everything out of it. But when I run the program, it's not giving me what it should give me. Like, I'm not getting the actual results. I'm currently running it for the last time. Like, I'm still
What is
running it
happening?
now. It's just compiling activities and then doesn't pop up anything.
Let's see then.
Okay.
Tell me what's your issue again?
Sir, I want to understand something because I just followed the instruction given in the PDF, but the truth is that I don't understand the actual context of those activities that I'm bringing in, the assign, the meaning of the assign, the meaning of the while, and do I know get it, but I'm just doing it and I'm getting it. I'm just doing the practical aspect, as in the theory. Why am I using it?
So
I don't get
you
it.
should, yeah. So try reading the PDF, but I would say the while and do loop are used for iteration. Use that to repeat something over and over again. So they are loops, and they have some differences. So, like the do while loop now allows you to evaluate code before checking. So allows you to execute code before checking the condition. While a while loop allows you to check a condition first, then executing code. That's a summary of while and do while loop. Therefore, your assign is just to give a value to something. As the name implies, just to assign a value or an expression to another expression.
Can you see my screen now, sir?
Sir. So concerning the project we just did, the thing says we are printing a number. So after me putting 15 and pressing OK, from then I did not see anything again. Just go back to the studio back.
Check your output panel.
Output. How can I get there?
So that means what it means is that you did not look at the notes I said you looked at 2 days ago.
I
did not look at.
Did not actually do the practical aspect. We just went through it.
Just went through what?
Just like reading without putting it into practice on the studio.
But then you still read, so you should have an idea of where it is. If you indeed read it. The output is at the bottom of the screen. At the bottom left of your screen, you see output, error list, find reference. That's your output panel there. To run your code.
I've seen it. Thank you very much. Success execution started. So all the number are printed from 1 to 15.
Run your code, Daniel. Good.
Sir, there's a time there. What's the meaning of that time? 00.
That's the time your code ran for. That's how long it took your code to run.
Can you see my screen now, sir?
Yes, sir. So Kweli, me help you now understand what the time is. You're not running it.
Thank you very much, sir. I really
Should I
appreciate
run
it.
it for you to see it, sir?
I will
Yes,
snap us.
So David, what's your question?
Okay, my question is with the do while loop. Where is it stated condition, the first condition, the second condition. When I entered int number mode 2 equals to 0, it's still showing compiler errors and counter processing expression.
So you said 2 equals to 0 for do while loop.
Yes. Int number mode 2 equals to 0. That's for
Is this
the
from the classwork, or is this something you did on your own?
classroom exercise, yes. That is demonstrate how
So
to use a do while loop, building a
you said
workflow.
2 equals to 0, if I'm not correct. Or did you say int some 2
Yes,
equals
int
to
number
0?
mode 2 equals to 0.
Okay, mode 2 equals to 0.
That's on slide 23.
That is the condition for your
Yes.
For your do loop, for do while loop.
Do while loop, yes, sir.
So what happened now? You're saying it's
Okay.
not.
It says compiler errors encountered.
But kí ni ìtumọ̀ enter number? Enter any number you want to print.
That is input.
No, according to the.
Have you run it here?
No, as long as it's still showing that red mark, it's yes, it won't run successfully.
Okay,
I'm
so
talking,
sir, when I
not
just
I was talking to Daniel.
oh sorry. When I run the code, it just brings me back here, like it takes me back to my my laptop desktop page.
I mean,
and nothing
your code is
pops
still
up.
running. The code is still running.
My code is still running.
Yes.
Oh, why else my laptop is slow then?
Yeah, because that's how you can see that stop sign here. That means it's still running.
You said whenever I can.
As far as you can see that stop sign there, that means it's still running.
Okay. But it's not popping up anything, just these an extra icon.
Probably your laptop taking time.
Okay. Okay then.
Okay. Maybe yes.
So?
Share your screen. Let's see exactly what you mean.
Okay. Coming.
Can you hear me?
I'm about to share my screen.
Please, sir, can you hear me? Hello, sir, can you hear me?
I'm not giving permission to share my screen.
I can hear you.
Okay, so I've logged out and logged in again, so I'm waiting for you to grant me permission when you are through.
So this is what I have here after the
One person at a time. David, you are sharing.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
So David, let's see.
Okay, this is my screen. This is the error counter.
So put your what's it called? Pointer on the error. Number is not declared. So what does that mean? You're meant to check the scope of your variable. So I think they're meant to be looking at. This is not something I'm going to be drawn to detect for you every time. Check your variable and check the scope. As you can see, the scope does not apply outside. You have to change the scope. Change the scope to the whole sequence before you can run. Change your variable scope.
This one, right?
No, that's not it. Nope, that's not what you're meant to do, David. Let's change the scope of int number because that's what you're working with.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Daniel, let's see.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, here we are, sir.
Go back to the message, it's not a valid. Okay, so go back to the what's it called? To the workflow.
Yes, sir. Ah. Okay. Here we are, sir.
Can't see your screen.
Is that?
I can't see your screen.
Oh, sorry. Can you see it now, sir?
You see the problem now. So we grant me control. Grant me control.
Is that?
Say grant
Yes,
me
sir.
control. Have you done that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see. Name, label, value. But see the problem here now is that this value, I click it. Okay, it's not the same as this.
Oh.
You don't just type. Remember when you're making your variable, you don't just type the name there. The name has to match what you name the variable. So you can't put all capital letter and you named it in all small letters there.
Okay. Okay. I get it now. Okay, meaning that I have to change all of this to small letter and then all of this also to small letter.
No, anything that is a variable now, everything you have to change. You have to change your variables to what case.
Okay, I understand you.
So this one is correct. So Okay, George, can you share your screen now?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Can you see my screen now? Hello, sir.
Not yet. Not yet. I can see it now.
Okay. Should I give you, sir? This is the while loop. So if I run it now, it's giving me an error message. So I don't know where I'm missing it out. But on the design panel here, it's not showing any error.
Okay, so what's the error message? And work with the error message.
Yes, sir. Let me just run it so you will see it. So if I run it now, so it's talking about compilation error. Look at it. This is the error message, sir.
The cross collisions error has been compiled. So basic. Etc.
I don't know if I'm missing any step.
Try opening in a different workflow.
I didn't get that, sir. Can I give you control? Can I give you control?
No, don't need. That will take time. Something you do later. Then open a different process, a different workflow. Then put the process there again.
Okay, and even the do while loops also the same thing is still giving me an error. So let me open the do while loops so that you can see.
But you've run something before, right?
No, I've run something before, but on this while loop and the do while loop, no one is running for me. So I
Just
don't know
asking
why.
you run something.
Yes, sir. So this is the do while loop. So it's giving me an error, and I've changed the variable to global.
It's giving you an error. So I think you need to fix the error first.
Okay, look at the error now. So
Argument condition compiler. I can't see scroll up.
okay, let me reduce this one.
Box error. Number input 2. So I don't even know what this is. Send it to my email.
So is there how we check these steps and to leave there's a step?
Send the whole workflow to my email.
How do I do that?
How do you send to my email? You look for the file. Where did you store the file in your PC? I guess you store the file. You save this somewhere now. So send me that file.
Is it from here?
When you are making the process, you choose the location.
Okay,
You
I'll
put
just
that
send that.
location. Now send that file to me here.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, so all right, George.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Value me. What's the issue again? Hello? Robert.
Hello, sir. Pẹ̀lú Mr. Kwanike. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sir. Sir, concerning after the project we just did now, printing 1 to 15, is there any other project you said we should do?
No.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Tomorrow.
But you can do that. look at the PDF and what you want to explore on your own.
Okay. And for tomorrow, sir. And tomorrow, we are having our test, right?
Yes.
By evening, 7.
Yes. Yes. 7 p.m.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we
Oh,
probably okay. I don't want to
want to.
uh I want to ask about concerning this program. I want to understand something better. After our 10 weeks, you said we are going to write our exam. After the 10 weeks, we are writing our exam for the associate UiPath developer.
After 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Yes. 5 weeks. If you're done with everything by 5 weeks, then you write your exam. Then you do your advanced.
How many weeks?
Are you talking to me?
The advance will be how many weeks, sir?
5 weeks.
5 weeks. Okay, making 10 weeks together.